The PS2 driver is a little bit more involved, so it contains lower level functions that just deal with transmitting and receiving a single byte, and it has upper level methods that actually figure out what device is connected to my system, whether it's a mouse or a keyboard, and it initializes it correctly and reads data from it to interpret it correctly. So let's take a look at the code for this driver. So in this code, we have the header file for the Ps2 core, and as you can see in here, it just tells me, okay, there are a few enums. Let me just show you here. So these enums basically relate to this register map. So offset number 0 in here, it's basically the data that we read, the packed, and then offset number 2 is whatever you, or number 1, whatever you want to send, and offset number 2 is the one that advances the 5 forward ones. These enums is just so that we can unpack offset number 1, whatever we put in offset number 1, and then we can go and see the lower level functions first. So the first one in the lower level function is just basically the Ps2 core in here. Basically the constructor just stores, like, let's take a look at those functions and the implementation of it. So what the implementation does is the following. It actually just takes the base address and just stores it. That's basically what it does. That's the base one. The other one is just basically in here. It tells me whether the FIFO is empty or not, and it's really straightforward to implement. It just basically goes and read that particular register, which is offset number 0, and then it just basically does the unpacking for the data and just returns it. The same goes with the TX idle, is exactly the same as the whether it's FIFO is empty or not. This just tells me whether the transmitter is idle or not, so that you can send something else. So it just reads offset number 0, and then it just unpack the data. This was in bit number 8. This one is bit number 9. Okay, and these are the two. These two are very low functionalities. Again, we can actually just send, we can receive or send data. So let's figure out like how we can actually send a single byte. So sending a byte is just basically go and write it in offset number 1, I believe, and that's it. All you have to do is just send it there, and the hardware will take care of it. The receiver is a little bit more involved. So if you think about it, the receive, if you want to read something, you want to make sure that you're not reading something empty. If you're reading something empty, it will just return -1. Other than that, you just read that particular offset number 0, and then you unpack the data, of course, and do everything you want. This is what the and in here. So you unpack the data. There's no need for shifting because it's actually right aligned. And then what you do is you write some dummy, which is 0 in this case, so the FIFO pointer just move forward by 1. And those are the basic functionalities. And these base functionalities can be used to implement some more complicated upper level routines, which we're going to see in the next videos.